There is one idea and one practice that has changed my life more than anything else in the past year. More than starting a business that generates me a good chunk of money every single month without a lot of time. More than potentially meditation. That's a close call, but this idea and this practice is crucial, I think, to stay focused and stay streamlined and actually accomplish what you want in your life and have your life be what you want, to remove all the things that you don't care about and leave the only things that you do care about. And that is this idea of essentialism, which there has been an entire book written about that I have not read, although I think I've read summaries of it, and I would imagine that I embody the core principles because I've learned a lot of these tactics and practices from other sources. Essentialism is essentially, see what I did there, cutting out all of the crap in your life that you don't give a shit about. And all of the crap that just sucks away energy without you really realizing it. And I compared it to meditation earlier, but now that when I think about it, I believe the two are actually deeply intertwined. And this is why. Essentialism requires you to realize what it is in your life that you actually derive joy and meaning from. And what is it in your life that takes up your time but doesn't deliver anything of value to you. Here's an example, and the first real activity that I noticed was not essential. And this was video games and YouTube videos. YouTube videos probably of people playing video games. I had started meditating somewhat recently, and meditation, one of the many benefits of meditation is it gives you a greater awareness of your current state, your emotional state, your mental state, how you feel when you're doing certain things. I started to notice as I would watch these YouTube videos and play these video games, I became aware of my current state while I was doing those things. And I noticed something extremely peculiar, which was that when I was doing these things, I wasn't actually that happy. I wasn't getting that much joy out of watching this video or playing this game. Instead, it was kind of just a monotonous satisfaction, a monotonous acceptance that this isn't great, but it's easy. And it's kind of just letting me kill some time and not push myself too hard. And it's easy entertainment. But that doesn't mean that it was fun or that I was really enjoying myself when I was doing it. In fact, I wasn't enjoying myself. I was just being entertained. And after I was finished being entertained, I didn't feel any better than before I had finished being entertained. It was quite literally simply killing time. It wasn't influencing my life or impacting my life in any positive way. So I decided, all right, I'm going to stop watching these videos and playing these games. So I took that out of my life. And then I started looking around at a whole bunch of other things that was taking a lot of time, but not really improving my life. And so I started pulling out all these other things. I started cutting out distractions and unsubscribing from email lists and just a trimming. Think of it in the physical analogy or metaphor of living in a house and going minimalistic and getting rid of all the crap in your house that you don't use, but yet takes up space in your house. This is what I was doing with my time and my attention. All this crap that was taking up my attention, I just started cutting it off. And I really took this to the next level about 6 or 8 months ago. And I was doing this course in a particular business model, trying to build this business. And one of the modules in the course was all about elimination of distraction. And he gave us really clear and practical tips and tools to use to free up your attention and eliminate distraction. And this includes things like keeping your phone on airplane mode and do not disturb for, at first it was just maybe an hour. When you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone for an hour. And then it went to 2 hours and 3 hours, and you were just free to take it however you want. So now my phone is on airplane mode and do not disturb for probably 20 to 22 out of the 24 hours in the day. I only can look at my phone and actually scroll through notifications or check email or anything like that for about 2 to 4 hours a day. And this is always, always, always in the second half of the day. Never in the morning. I don't peek at my phone until probably 1 p.m. And even then, I probably don't turn it off do not disturb mode. I might turn on my Wi-Fi so I can maybe listen to a podcast, but I still keep it on do not disturb mode so I don't get flooded with notifications. Honestly, I just hate notifications. Even if they're friends, I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to talk to you and you're a friend, but also I'm just so protective of my attention, probably to maybe a little bit of an unhealthy degree now, where I start cutting out things that are actually benefiting me just because they require my attention. But that's an extreme that you're probably not at. So I'm going to prompt you and propose that you do a similar thing. And you maybe just set a rule for the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the day. Instead of checking your phone first thing in the morning, just keep it on airplane mode and just don't look at it. This is really a lot easier to do also when you put your phone somewhere else other than under your pillow or right next to your bed. I keep my phone tucked away in my closet behind a closed door, so I don't even see it when I'm walking around and going about my day. I forget about it. It is not a really intimate part of my life anymore. And it's fantastic. I've turned off all notifications. It's on silent. That's another thing I forgot to say. And it's just gone. It's not a big part of my life. Now I'm gonna trash talk some other people now, my friends and family that have not implemented this system, which is fine. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. I'm just saying it's amazing and you should do it. If I hear a notification bell go off, I'm like, what is that sound? Attention, it's going away. You're distracting me. I'm so hypersensitive to any sort of notification now. And I see my friends and my family and all just constantly getting distracted and drawn to their phones every 5 minutes because something goes off. And it just takes them away from whatever they were doing, and they go to their phone for this stupid, pointless thing that they don't need to check at that moment. Maybe it's important, but it's not urgent, and it can be done later. I still do plenty of important things. I just do them on my schedule. That is the key. There's a difference between urgent and important, and you have to differentiate the two. And you have to set aside time for yourself where you say, I'm not going to be distracted by anything, even if it might be important. I'm going to put that all away, and I'm going to say, I'm going to focus on this thing and this thing alone. So for me, that maybe is sitting on my computer, which also has a lot of tools on it to block distractions. And I'm just going to write for an hour, or I'm just going to go record a video like this for an hour, or I'm going to go code, or I'm going to go work on my business for an hour. And usually it's much more than an hour. It's 4 or 5 hours. And I can do that only because I've eliminated the distraction that everything else presents. There's a lot more that I want to say on this topic, and as I record this, I realize that I should really structure it a lot more and write out exactly what kind of points I'm trying to make. But you get the idea, and this is something that I plan on talking about a lot more because, like I said in the beginning, it's probably the idea and the practice that's had the biggest impact on my life recently, and I cannot imagine going back to a world where this is not my life. I cannot imagine going back to a world that I see other people living in. It's not coming from a place of superiority. It's just a flabbergasted, the lack of understanding of why you would do that to yourself. So try it out for the first 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Don't look at your phone. And if you're doing 30 minutes, then go for an hour. If you're going for an hour, go to 2 hours. Trust me, you can do it. It is not that hard. It seems impossible maybe in the beginning, but you start to realize what is essential and what is not. And let me tell you, phone notifications and emails and notifications in general are not essential. Cut them out. Life is so much simpler and easier and stress-free when you do so. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed. I would never say to turn on notifications, so don't turn on notifications, but you can subscribe and you can like this video and you can comment down below if you have some sort of comment to give me. Hit me up. Let me know. Thanks for watching. I will see you all later. Shoots.